Hello everyone. Hope you are not fed up with these lectures and these details. But whatever we have to go through the syllabus, and we are going through the syllabus, so we have to do it. Okay. Now this is again in continuation with the previous lectures on high voltage on ships. This is now we have discussed about the various aspects of high voltage, the definitions, arc flash, arc blast, the hazards, advantage, disadvantage, which ship we are using this high voltage, and what is high voltage, advantage, disadvantage, why we have gone for high voltage when we were able to manage with low voltage system. Those things we have discussed already. Now we are going to talk about the maintenance. Once we have installed those machineries and we have protected those machineries, high voltage machineries, now if machinery is there, we have to do the maintenance. Otherwise there is going to be a breakdown, and you never know when the things are going to break down, and then it will not be reliable. So we have to do the maintenance. And for maintenance, what we do maintenance, how we do maintenance on electrical system? First we test. What we test? We have discussed many times that in electrical system there are only three types of fault that can happen. One is open circuit fault, so that chance is reduced very much because we are using multi-strand cables. The other fault is earth fault, and the third fault is short circuit fault. These are the only three faults that happens in electrical circuit, that occurs in electrical circuit. The other two, that means your earth fault and short circuit fault, will take place only when the insulation breaks down. Okay, so long your insulations are good, no earth fault, no short circuit. Okay, and for this what you do is you do the test. How you do the test? What test you do? You check the insulation resistance by using Megers, and then when it is coming to close to your minimum safe value of insulation resistance, then you start planning, and then before it goes to the minimum value, we do the maintenance and bring back the insulation resistance to close to the normal value or initial value. Okay, so how we are going to test, and then if any short circuit happens or earth fault happens, then we are doing the maintenance on that, right? So when we are going to do maintenance on electrical system in high voltage high voltage system, then like if you compare with the low voltage system means 440 volt generation shift. There we used to what we have to do for testing or for maintenance, what we have to do, or repair, what we have to do is we have to ensure that the circuit is dead. Okay, so we are ensuring that the circuit is dead, and then what we are doing, we are shorting all the components which can store energy, like capacitors store energy, so we short all the capacitors, and then we see that the circuit is dead. Then we do the test on the circuit, whether we are doing the Meger testing, insulation testing, or if we have to do any repair work. So we have to make we do the test or the repair work or maintenance on a dead circuit. So this is the first stage, and then once you have ensured it is dead, then you use the Meger directly, no problem. But that we cannot do on high voltage system. It makes it cumbersome to even check or even do the Megering on high voltage system, because we cannot afford to take any chance on high voltage system, because the hazard is very extreme. It can be this can lead to casualty. So we have to be very cautious about it. and that makes the whole system of this maintenance testing cumbersome. Here, when you are going to work on high voltage system, you have to take a permit to work. You cannot start the work unless until you get the permit. Like you have studied earlier that you have to do any welding job or some hot work in any confined space or in a tank, then you have to obtain a hot work certificate. Similarly here, for working on any electrical system, or whether we are testing the system or we are doing the maintenance on the system, we have to take a electrical permit to work. Okay? And who will give this? Authorized person, and whom it will be given? To a responsible person who has got experience of working on high voltage. It will be given to him. Okay, and it is the procedure is, it has to be in carbon copy. A duplicate carbon copy is made, and this electrical permit to work has got, first of all, it is valid only for 24 hours, and this electrical permit to work has got 5 sections. First section that talks about what is the type of work you are going to do, okay, on that circuit. Then second is, the second thing in that is, what is the second section declares where the electrical isolation and earthing has been applied. Means the second section requires that the circuit has to be totally isolated, means dead, and then dead includes the deactivation of those storage devices like capacitor and all. So isolated and de-energized, okay, and then it is connected to the earth. If certain of the places you have got a permanent earthing connection through a switch, so whenever you want to connect it to the system to the earth, then you can put the switch on and then that gets connected to the ground. And if you are working where the permanent arrangement is not there, if you are working on certain section of the circuit, then you may also have to use, or you are using for extra safety, you are using a local earthing strap. Okay, so this is what what is to be declared in your second section. Second section says that electrical isolation and earthing has been applied, and where danger or caution notice have been displayed or not. This declaration you have to give. Then third section has to be signed by the person receiving the permit, acknowledging that, suppose I am going to work, so I have received the permit, and then I have to ensure, I have to satisfy that the safety precautions taken and the isolation and earthing measures are adopted. Means I am satisfied, I have taken the permit and I am going to do work on high voltage. So this is your third section. Fourth section of this electrical permit to work is signed by the permit holder who is doing the work on the electrical circuit. He will sign stating the status of the job, whether it is completed or suspended. So the fourth section is signed by the permit holder that the work has been completed or suspended. So this will be signed by the person who has received the permit or who is doing the work onto the system. And fifth section is signed by the issuing authority, cancelling the permit, because the permit is valid for 24 hours, so he will be cancelling the permit. So this is the electrical permit to work guideline, okay, and this has to be followed. This electrical permit to work has to be obtained, and then only you can do the maintenance, repair or testing. Now for you, let us talk only about the testing part. We are going to do the measuring on certain part of the electrical circuit, and in that case what we have done is, after ensuring that the circuit is dead, discharging the storage component, charge storing component, and then how we are doing it? By isolation we are doing it by putting off the circuit breaker and all, and then we are ensuring it through a live line tester. Okay, so now you have got various gadgets. You do not have to touch anything. You go with the gadget and you are going close to the circuit part, and if the circuit is live for any reason, reason, then you will find that gadgets will start beeping, indicating that the circuit is still not dead, and you have to recheck it and then rain check it until it shows, the circuit shows that the circuit is dead, right? So this is one part. Once the circuit is dead, then what you are doing, you are using the local earthing strap. So this is your, see in the diagram, this is your local earthing strap. It has got 4 earthing strap connections, okay, the line connector, and this is a common earth connector. So this is connected to the ship's hull. Okay, the sequence is, suppose you are going to after ensuring the circuit is dead through the live line detector, you are putting this circuit, this strap to the ship's hull, and then one strap to one phase. So 3 phase, 3 straps, but you cannot just put it like this. It is connected in a long insulated handle. Okay, you have to hold it, and from the other end, far end of the insulated long handle, this part is connected. So with that you have to connect the 3 phases. Okay, so now it is connected. Why we are using long insulated handle? Because we do not want to come close to that circuit even if we have ensured that the circuit is dead. Okay, because of high voltage, because of it is hazardous, and we cannot take any chance. Okay, so after we have done, now what we are doing, suppose we want to check the insulation resistance. So we will be connecting the Megger. Now Megger also we cannot connect the Megger, the Megger, those points, the terminals that we are going to connect to the equipment or to the circuit where we want to check the insulation resistance. After connecting this earthing strap, then we are connecting again through a long insulated handle the probe of this Megger. We are connecting to the point where we are going to check. Okay, so between the 2 conductors or between conductor and earth, we connect those Megger probe. Okay, and then this is through a insulated long handle. Now is it ready for taking the insulation resistance? Now if I operate the Megger, and can I take the insulation resistance? Will I get the right value? No, because the phases are already connected to the ground. Okay, and when we are measuring it, we are not checking it between the conductor and the conductor is already connected to the ground, so it will give you a wrong value. Okay, so now before we are going to this we have used just for connecting the Megger probe. Now what we are doing, if I want to check the insulation resistance, we will be taking out one by one through the insulated long handle these 3 connectors, earth connectors. So local earth connector is removed. Now we will be taking will be doing the measuring, and then we'll get now we are getting because it is not, the conductors are not connected to the ground, so we are taking the correct value of the insulation resistance, right? And again to take out the probe, again we have to connect this. Okay, so when it is connected to the phases, accidentally if suppose it gets charged, then since it is connected to the ground potential is 0. Okay, so you will be protected. That is why this has to be there. Now to take out the probe after measuring, again we will have to connect these 3 straps. Then with the long insulated handle we'll take out the probe, and then we'll take this 3 out like this. When we are connecting this local earthing, then this first we connect it to the ship's hull and then to the individual phases. When we are disconnecting the individual phases, and then finally once it is disconnected from the phase, then we take out the 4th one. So this is the sequence in which it is connected and removed, right? So this is how we are taking. So see how cumbersome it becomes just to take a insulation resistance. Now for checking the insulation resistance, can we use this 440 the 500 volt meter, which we have used it for 440 volt system? No, we cannot do. It will not give the reading. We will have to go for 5000 volt up to 6.6 kV. As we are going for even higher voltage, we will have to increase the voltage further. Okay. So this earthing strap is valid for a voltage up to 11 kV, and a current it can withstand up to 6 kilo ampere for 1 second. So I have understood how we are going to do the test onto the high voltage system. Then next is, what is the minimum value which we can take in high voltage system? Suppose somebody asks you, what is the minimum value of insulation resistance in a high voltage system, let us say 6.6 kV. Okay, what should be the minimum insulation resistance for a system operating at 6.6 kV? So it is kilo ohm per volt mego. See here. Okay. The minimum resistance value is usually recommended as kilo kV plus 1 mego. So 6.6 kV. So 6.6 plus 1, 7.6 mego for a where kilovolt is the equipment voltage, rating at 7.7. If 6.6 kV is the voltage of the system, high voltage system, then 6.6 plus 1, 7.6 mego would be the acceptable insulation resistance value for a 6.6 kV machine. Okay? So this is the minimum. Now in high voltage system, there is another type of test for the insulation that is carried out, especially when you have done a major overhaul on electrical circuit or after a certain duration. We have to go for a polarization index test. It is called PI test. See, polarization index test. You know what is polarization index test, and why we have to do this polarization index test for a high voltage system. We are not doing it for low voltage system. Why we are doing it? Because it says that if the temperature variation is more, where the temperature variation is more, the normal insulation reading through measuring, what you get, the reading will not be very accurate. That will not be very reliable. So then it is recommended in high voltage system to go for a PI test. Now what is PI test? PI test, for PI test what you do, it is a ratio. So for getting the ratio, what we do is, we take the insulation resistance after, how you are doing it? After isolating the high voltage system, discharging the high voltage system, all capacitors are discharged, then earthing and connecting the meter and then disconnecting the earthing straps, and then when we are measuring, we operate this meter for 1 minute, okay, and we take the insulation resistance. Again we take at the same point we check the insulation resistance after we keep on applying the meter to that point for 10 minutes. Means the voltage is applied to that insulation point for 10 minutes, and if it is applied for 10 minutes, the current is flowing for 10 minutes, and if the current is flowing for 10 minutes, then what will happen? The I square R loss will be more, the insulation surface will be heated more, and its resistance will, insulation resistance, it will show less or more. See, the insulation resistance has got negative coefficient characteristic, so when you heat more, then the resistance will show less. Okay, because negative resistance, positive resistance means RT is equal to R01 plus alpha T. So when you heat the copper conductor, its resistance increases. That we find by RT is equal to R01 plus alpha T. But in case of high voltage, in case of insulation, the insulation has got a negative temperature coefficient characteristic. So when you heat it, the insulation resistance will decrease. Okay, so now you have taken two readings. One is you have applied the Megger for 1 minute and you have taken some value of the insulation resistance. Then at the same point you have taken for 10 minutes, applied the voltage through the Megger for 10 minutes and you have taken the insulation resistance. Now the ratio PI test is, PI is polarization index test, is equal to the ratio of the insulation value for 1 minute and then divided by the insulation value of by applying the Megger voltage for 10 minutes. And if the ratio value comes to greater than 2 megohm, sorry, greater than 2, it's a ratio, so greater than 2, then it is good. The insulation value is acceptable, it is good. Okay? So this is your polarization index test, and this gives you correct value at different varying temperature also, where the atmospheric temperature is varying to some degrees. This is more accurate, with this you get more accurate result. So this, we have talked about the insulation, how we measure the insulation. Okay, now suppose we have to do the maintenance while the system is on. Then there is a safe demarked area. You cannot go within that area. Okay, it is prohibited area near high voltage system. So suppose I have to do some check on the high voltage system. Suppose I see that the bus bar is there in the main switchboard, and then the bus bar is clamped, and suppose it is loose and there is arcing which is taking place, or there is a hot spot developing somewhere. So for that you have got, now you have got a very high powered infrared camera with a very high resolution, and you can take the photographs, and after taking the photographs at various location where you need to check, then it is processed through a program, and then that gives you the color change, which gives you the indication of the hotspot. Hotspot means there is a chattering which is taking place, there is loose connection, so you have to plan and then you have to rectify that. Okay, so this is how you do the maintenance on high voltage system. The electrical permit to work we have already discussed. What all you have to do, that we have discussed, that you have to isolate, you have to ensure that the circuit is dead, discharged. How you do it? Through a live line tester and from a safe distance. If it is not that gadget type where as you are going closer it will beep, it is a manual online tester, then you have to use a long insulated handle and then you have to test it. Okay, so this is all about your maintenance part. Now next lecture we will talk about the circuit breaker, SF6, and vacuum circuit breaker, that we will discuss in the next lecture. So thanks for listening, hope it is interesting and you have got a lot of information about the high voltage system. So take care, stay safe.